Okay, yes, welcome back. You're watching Favorite Social Media Program, The Buzz. I am Rose Blossom. As I said, today is about lifestyle, relationship, and of course, we're going to be talking about some trending videos online. I have amazing guests today. Today, I have ministers in the house. So get ready. Get ready to hear the truth. Okay, we have Pastor James Olokesisi. He's a minister, a speaker, a writer, and an author. Welcome to the show. Thank you for coming. Okay, we also have Pastor Akintomiwa Akintokumbo. He's a minister and also the MD of Upstream Educations. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
It's good to have you the first time, but I'm certain he's going to do very well. Trust pastors now. They stand before thousands of people. So here we are. Anyways, today we have interesting topics to talk about. But before we talk about that, let's quickly check one trending video because this is very important. And the video is a Nigerian, a man called out Nigerian to please come to his aid because he just did a DNA test and found that he's not the biological father of his only son. And his wife is of 8 years. That's their marriage is of 8 years. And according to him, it means that she has been sleeping with his best friend, who was his best man on their wedding day. I think this was actually, he did this video in Yoruba, but by the time we come back, I would give some explanations on exactly he narrated in a very short way. But let's quickly watch the video. I'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Yes. I don't know, like I always say, DNA was never a culture, was not an African culture. So embracing DNA every now and then, especially that some persons are conducting DNA tests for some persons for free. It's now something that, because I know DNA test was very expensive before. And before you even think of putting that money together, going to hospital to go and do DNA test, you use that money to take care of the child and your wife and yourself. But now because it's now very cheap and it's not free, people are doing it and you're not even ready for the results. But anyways, I'm going to ask you, you're saying something via camera, which I want you to say in front of the camera. What's your take on this video?
Well, first of all, I'm not condoning the fact that it happened that the wife happened to have a child out of the wedlock and hid it from the husband. But the issue is, why do you want to go have a test? I want to know what you can't deal with. You can't deal with it when it comes out. Why do you want to disrupt the flow of things? Number one, you have a correlation with the child. You have with the mother, the child has with you. So why do you want to do anything to disrupt that relationship? Because, okay, now you get to know, so what next? Are you still going to say that all the love you have for the child, you will reverse everything? So what exactly are you out to get from the whole thing? So yes, like I said again, we are not condoning that action of the woman, but the truth is that what is in it for you as a person? You want to know. Now you've known. What does it change? What changes? Things get worse. Two, also we also need to talk about the issue of, must everything be made public? No, you did a DNA test between you and your child. Okay, the result came out negative. Why must you make it public? Is it public? Is it for public consumption? It's not for something that between you, your wife, the child, and possibly the biological father of the child. Say, okay, how will we resolve this? So I think we should also look at that, not just
Okay, very true. Because this man, from even his words, Nigerians, please help me. Okay, not because I don't know what you want us to do. But anyways, what's your take?
Well, we have the Ministry of Justice on social media now. So everybody wants to get education on social media. Everybody wants to get justice on social media. But basically, the fact that we are not extramarital affairs, but we still have to the fact that the man puts it out. There has to be kind of an exemplary move for some other women. Because when you're married to a man, and the man you are growing in that same household, the child doesn't know about. According to you say bastard is the one that's going to destroy the house. But okay, basically now, if a man has invested all his life on that child, and one day somebody comes and discovers that this is not my child, they want to collapse on that. So 8 years is still a good time for the man to discover, okay, this is not my child. Okay, let's go. Although the children are from the Kennedy, or this is not my child who went to extramarital affair and I'm not interested in this marriage anymore. Let's break things and let's go on.
Mm-hmm.
So rather than coming up, but nevertheless, we still have to tell women out there, all these extramarital affairs, bringing in time to the house and destroying the family. We still have to reach us.
Yes, we
Do
have
you
to
want to
decide
say
that.
something quickly in line with what you just said?
Okay.
I think when you talk about investing in a child, I think parents need to change this narrative and stop seeing children as investments.
Mm-hmm.
If you do that, you're saying, look, you know what? I'm going to put my whole life into this child, hoping that when he grows up, he pays me back.
Mm-hmm.
If you see it from that angle, yes, you can be this disturbed as a man, but you are a man that look, there's a child in my house. He's my child. I have an emotional investment attachment,
Yeah.
but I'm not doing what I'm doing for him because I want him to pay me back future. I'm not investing in him in the name of investment. He's my child. So I think we should, like my colleague is saying, we should be careful with the use of bastard. We should be careful with the use of, it's not the child's fault.
Yeah.
Using that word is
quite harsh
on the child. Because it's not the child's fault. The child was where he or she was before you guys brought the child up. I really have to chew that in.
You would have left the child where he was.
Exactly.
Wherever they are coming from. Anyways, another angle that this man is probably not looking at. Now you have a wife. You've definitely been having intimacy with her, and you have a child. Definitely after getting married, you definitely give birth to a child. And 8 years later, you still have not gotten a child, and you decide to do DNA test to find out if that child is yours. How about, let's look at it from the extreme view. How about if he was even important? You have a child. I don't know, maybe what he was thinking was, okay, I've not been able to get another child. Do you think I have a problem? Let me go and find out. Maybe I don't have a problem if this child is not mine. And he gets to find out that the child is not his. For me, I feel like that's not even a wise decision. If you already know that this is what is wrong with you, it's even better you take care of that child as your own. I don't know. I'm just thinking. But men are very logical. Yeah, I'm looking at and men are logical. They really think that kind of way.
Because we have sessions with teachers, many sometimes they are emotional, women are emotional. But the man, if he's looking at what you're saying, 8 years he has a child, and the only one that has is still publicizing. I think he could have let me not go back to what he said. That's it. Most people
public.
People have just make it a family thing. I told you there was time I told the same story. The guy around to me and pastor, this child, this lady is our child. I said, okay, go and think about it. You think about it, can you deal with it? Can you deal with it? Go ahead and do something. Can't deal with it, just box out.
Box out.
And he just felt this out. And he went ahead, after some years, the whole thing right? Because the wife kept working same old ways. So, but it's the matter of the man if you can deal with it. So men are more feminine. I'm more emotional than women. They can't deal with trivial issues. They can't bottle up some things. Yeah. So it's the matter of how deep inside the man is. How well can he deal with such issues? So men they weep more than even a baby. When something happens, somewhere you cancel them like this, they just weeping here and there. So it depends on the emotional frame of mind of that man. If you can deal with it or you can't deal with it, or you have a better, they make it.
But I know this is not part of the question. It's not even part of what we're talking about. You said a man, you're talking to a man and a woman before you know the man is already weeping. And it's probably just looking like, what's wrong with this one? Do you actually think he's a weak man because he's crying?
No, he's not.
Okay.
I think it's a cultural issue where we tell men that men don't cry. Men cry. I think men, we do that to try to give a wrong idea of the strength of a man. So we think weeping is weakness.
Yeah,
it's not. Weeping is just the same way than an outburst of emotion. So basically, so do you mind if I comment on what the question asked about quickly? But now the issue here is, look, what holds marriage together is more than love. It's trust. I still try to look at the two. Which is more important for a relationship? Is it trust? Is it love? Can one exist without the other? Now, for marriage, trust and love takes a very, very important role in the marriage. So, if I go for DNA test and find out that my child do not belong to me, the issue on ground is not just about the child. It's the fact that a woman has broken the trust. And it's easier to break trust than to build it.
Yeah,
You know? So that could be, I don't know what I would remember what I would do in that state. I'm not talking about the child now. That is innocent. I'm talking about the relationship between me and my wife. You know, can we go past that level and get back to where we were before? We keep having this issue of where are you coming from?
Yeah.
You just talk to now. You know, that issue can linger on. Can we hold together? If not, I don't know.
That's a very big problem.
That's why obviously if the function is
Exactly.
True. Once that is broken, that's a problem. In fact, let me just wrap it this way. Most times, what we do not know is once a trust is broken, it's not like you can build that trust. You can build it. You can even build it for years till both of you, you know, part ways, maybe by death or anyways. But I think most of what we humans do after our trust has been broken is that we just tend to ignore. We tend to forget. We tend to not want to
remember it.
Remember, you understand? It's not like the trust is there. It's not fine. Where did you go to? Where are you coming from? Maybe you're doing that for a year, 2 years later you use it. To be honest, when you reduce it, it's not like you are now trusting. I don't want to believe that you're now trusting. I want to believe that you are now letting go, like, let me just allow her. Like, there's no big deal. It's been 2 years. Why am I onto it? You try to want to grow out of it. But you know in your mind that if they come back to tell you that your wife did it,
and you can argue in love.
You will argue. You'll be like, oh, well, she has done it before. So I'm not surprised. You understand? So I think that's just it. But anyways, let's move to our topic. Our first topic is complimenting your spouse important in a relationship. Well, I think it's because of the men. Because the men don't know how to compliment. And I'm happy I have 2 men in the house. So I want to ask, I'll start with you, Pastor James. Do you think complimenting your spouse is very important in marriage and relationship?
Complimenting your wife is very, very important. It gives her more esteem. It makes her to feel, it even gives the bond more. Basically, when we talk about complimenting, we are not just talking about this school affair because I'm complimenting. School affair, you can compliment as well the achievement or how your wife is cooking in the kitchen. Oh, well done there. And, you keep complimenting so that continue to encourage her. There's one song they used to sing among the kingdom that says there are 5 magic words. Please excuse me, sorry, thank you. These words, they create the bonds more. So when you compliment your wife, your spouse, you are building the bond. It's just that some men feel that the moment they compliment their wife, oh, you are too beautiful. I mean, you are very beautiful. You are looking very nice. Sometimes it's the head of our women. They all feel, especially if the man is not really building up himself in his own charisma or his own dress sense and that. And the one feels that it's like I'm better than this. But majorly, it's very important to compliment others, to tell your wife has done something good. Oh, your achievements, I'm proud of you. You have done well. It's very, 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 very important. Not just the man himself to the woman. Even the women to them. Your husband is spending so much money to take care of the house. How much of a thank you? How much of a well done? How much of it you are unique? You are the best husband. How much it goes sideways. So each couple must be complimenting each other.
Okay. So it's important. So you like the men's pastor.
Oh.
Okay, all right. So over to you, Pastor.
Okay, I think we agree.
Yes,
that is important. But I love this. I tell them so that I pastor, I tell them, look, when I'm having my birthday, of course, pastors having birthday, people buy gifts and buy gifts. And I tell them that the most important gifts I receive for my birthdays are words, text messages that people send to me, telling me the things that God has been able to use to do in their lives. Sometimes I shed tears when I read them at night on my bed, after all the issues and the whatever people buy for me. Because complimenting me means a lot to me. Now, why do men, or why do people find it difficult to compliment? Sometimes it's background. When you grow up in a very negative environment where anytime they use words, they use it as a punch. They use it to fight. Use your words to damage people. It's difficult for that kind of person to know how to compliment others. So it may not have to do with his spouse. It may not do it with his colleagues in the office. Doesn't know how to do it. Anytime that kind of person compliments, is because he wants to use it to, what's the word now? He wants to use it to to get something from you. So it's not because he or she means it. So the issue is that spouses must know that complimenting someone is something, the skill you have to build. If I love my wife, which I do, or anybody loves his or her wife, then you ask yourself a question: what can I do to make her happy? What can I do to make him happy? So if complimenting your spouse is part of those things that will make him happy, then you have to be creative about it. Yes. I am creative about it. Sometimes I leave the house and I send my wife some wonderful text messages in the morning before I leave. Sometimes on my way out, I rush by, I kiss her on the forehead in front of the children. I do all these things because I deliberately, they're not things I do because I feel like doing. No, I deliberately do it because I want my wife to be happy. I want my spouse to be happy.
To feel loved.
Yeah, basically. Because nobody has access to your mind. Your words are like the vehicle that transport what is in your mind to
the other person's mind.
Yeah. Words are powerful. We all agree that words are powerful, both in the physical realm, spiritual, and even emotionally. So if you know that you want your spouse to be happy, you want them to reciprocate back to you, use good words on them.
Yeah. And I think it's not just about spouse. Even for the children, you have to use good words for them. So because take myself for example, growing up, my father is always so used to, you're beautiful, you're pretty, you have a nice voice, you do this, you do, like to everybody, sleep what he knows his children are good with. So when I was growing up, at a point, where you have men now coming to you and, asking you out there, telling you you're pretty. And when they tell me you're pretty, first time, someone else was bold enough to tell me, you're very pretty. I was like, I've always known I'm pretty. When you already feel very confident, I've always known. So I went back and told my dad, but that sounded rude. You should have just said thank you. I said, I didn't know. I just felt like I know it already. So why you said? So I think in as much as for kids, I love you and all of that, try to teach them to also say the 5 words you said. Please, excuse me, sorry, thank you, and okay. So those are the things that are very, very important. And also, women, try to compliment your men. I know a lot of women complain about the men don't compliment us. They don't see the difference. I make my nails, I make my hair, they don't see it. I think they should also try to compliment their husband. Daddy, you look good. Okay. Maybe you look good. Honey, you look nice. You understand? Say something nice.
Do you know that you can also teach your spouse to compliment?
Exactly.
For example, if my wife makes a new hair and comes into the house and if mistakenly I did not notice, can you tell me that? You shouldn't be angry. You just say, because that's the negative reaction that moment, which is counterproductive. You don't have to be angry. You teach him how to compliment you. You tell him, babe, didn't you see my hair?
That's true.
That is beautiful. Of course, you have. Even tell him that, look, I want you to see something about my hair.
Yeah.
That's a
good message.
No, I'm saying that don't be angry. Don't say, tell me, can't you see my hair? No, that's negative. You can be positive about it. You can tell him or her, can't you see my nails? Oh, have you seen this dress?
Yeah. In fact, 50% of the woman will do the exact thing you're saying. Can't you see my hair?
My wife even taught me how to compliment. Me, I'm just like neutral person. But she will make me, and I'm developing so much in that.
Yeah, which is good.
You're not even saying well done. Well done there. How is everything going on there? So, your hair is beautiful, and that's what she's talking about.
And it's actually very good. You can teach them to say thank you because not everybody, like you said, some persons, not like they even have a toxic background or a negative background. Some persons, they just have the normal background, but there was no, I love you, daddy, I love you, mommy. Everybody's just do your thing. Thank you. Even when after eating, they don't even say thank you to their parents. It's not that it's a bad training. Yes, it's a bad training, but it's not bad if they don't know it. But you can teach them to get it right.
Let me beware what we call a cabinet enter for men. When a woman asks for your opinion on something, like her look, her hair, men, we can be very factual. To say, that place is not so okay, At that point, she's not asking for facts. She's asking for compliments. So don't fall into that trap. When she says, "Can't you see my?" Just say, you cannot have it later. I'm going to just get close to one. If I make the adjustment, at that point, please don't.
I'm laughing so hard. I remember this, of course, when I asked my friend. I asked him. I said, "Okay, now not this particular hair. Some time ago, I like, how is this hair?" was like, is that just how you want to pack it? I'm like, how is this one? This particular one on my head. And it was like, oh, okay, it's nice. Like, all right, better. Because you have to just, we are not asking you to tell us the mistake. If you see the mistake, come and adjust it or find a way to pass your message. Thank you. We are going to move on to the next training video. Okay, this one we'll be doing is oh Lord, okay, I don't want to pick something because we're having fun right now. Let's pick a video where a man was okay, she's trying another strategy to make children or students come to school and not miss classes. So people call it nice strategy, while some of them actually trolled the lecturer and said, oh, please, this is a way to teach children how to learn and how to make them understand that education is very important. So let's watch this video and we'll be right back to continue the program. Welcome back. So I'm gonna start with Pastor Akintomiwa. Your take on this? Do you think it's actually a nice strategy for students who are supposed to learn?
I will not condemn. I'm not too concerned with the action, but I'm not condemn the intention. The intention is to motivate them to come to class.
Yeah.
But the action could be questionable because we should try as much as possible not to monetize everything. One of the challenges we are facing in our society right now is that everything is monetized. There's this idea of there's nothing money not do. So if we are trying to change the narrative, doing this for these kids would not help our cause. But the intention is good. The intention is that he wants to encourage his people to be in class. Let me say this because, look, why do pupils not want to be in class? Because I like picking things from the foundation. I was on my schools, my old student association in secondary schools, and we were trying to remember some of our teachers that we gave different names to.
Yeah, no.
And I don't know if you have this teachers in school. We name the one Iku, that means death. We name one of you different. I mean, if that man stays at one angle of the school compound, everybody disappears. I mean, we all disappear. We just disappear. We just disappear. No, that was good for him. He may think he's having us, but it was affecting us academically. I mean, we grew up the kind of system we had. Students are afraid of their teachers. You can walk up to class to ask questions. You can walk up to the lecturer to ask questions. I mean, I don't talk about things that are not actually.
Sometimes when they ask, do you have any questions? You definitely can't.
You can't. Because you are afraid. You are scared. About a lot of things. I mean, so what he's trying to do is to motivate them to create that relationship with the student. Yeah. The actions is questionable, debatable, but the intention is quite good.
All right, thank you very much. Anyways, while in school then, while everybody was always like, we can't ask questions. I don't understand, especially the chemistry class. I would always ask questions. You can't be working something and it's magic to me. Yeah. I was
Did you go to a public school, a government-owned school, or a private?
It was a government-owned. I chose to go to a government-owned school. Oh, okay. I didn't really fancy the private school because it was all it was also protocoled. This is how I wanted to mix. I wanted to understand the real life because I see kids play on the streets because I was getting inside it like the same. Yeah, so I wanted to mix with people. I wanted to know what's really going on there. And when I did this, I know she's still alive, so she will be like, "You stubborn. You see this class, you repeat this class." She didn't like me for anything. I didn't even like her, but I needed to just understand chemistry because I know what I wanted it to be. But anyways, she already said the action is questionable, debatable, but the intention is right. What's your take?
The intention is very, very good. Because many students, if I could think about my secondary school, there are many things I can't. And I can't even remember, getting for my account check. In my essence, because it was not interesting. It was not interesting. I don't feel like going to the class until after I left secondary school. I began to go for tutorial centers. That was like get better. So what this man is doing is trying to get everybody's intention. Is trying to get them to love to come to school. They were willing to learn. So like what he said now, the trying to monetize everything is one of the problems of our society. But nevertheless, other teachers can accommodate this man. get to be more interested in making the children to understand, or students to understand, or arguing to them, rather than being called disciplinarian, like what you said, like be cool and they run away.
That one was not discipline.
No, that
was cruel. It was cruel.
Yeah.
You know, so they felt that being disciplined makes a child to want to learn. Are you there to just to discipline a child or to make them to understand? In Switzerland, they don't want a child. Even in America. Yeah, the children, they get better and lax at that. Even more better than us.
We have a law already that you can actually flog them right now. So it's against the educational.
So we need to get, the teachers must get a very unique way, a creative way to children, especially for dyslexia, kind of students who cannot really learn faster. So this kind of intention now, this kind of this thing the policeman did this, they can encourage them to go deeper to make sure they want to learn. And we get more results than what we're getting in our education system. Okay, let me speak in the minds of most of people online. It said was you're just teaching these children how to love money and education. Most of them are coming to that class not because they want to learn, but they are coming to that every now and then for that particular course or set because of they know they will get something. And another person said, EFCC needs to go and meet this guy because we are looking for money and you're there giving hundreds of students money every time you have a course, someone to teach. And other persons are like, okay, teachers can actually emulate what he's doing just for the students to be able to learn and grasp, education. Probably invariably they give advice for those children to learn. But the truth of the matter is, the kids we have now, they are more focused on money. So that's why a lot of people still do not believe in this strategy. That he could have used another strategy to buy them something. Yeah, buy them something. Might not even be every time. Let it be a surprise thing. Let it not be an everyday thing, because it means that if you have your lecture every day, they will do anything to actually make down to that class. But make it a surprise. That some persons will actually know that last lecture he didn't come. He actually gave us something. That would ginger them that they do not want to miss any of his class. And then I can actually now say maybe other teachers or lecturers can actually
I agree, but you put him some slack.
Yeah.
In the area of that they wouldn't learn. Now let me ask a question. Which is better? Students don't come to class at all, or they come and they still don't learn. The probability that when they come, they can pick interest. Look, we need to address our curriculum. I am into international education. I represent, my company represents lots of foreign universities. We get students study abroad. Now, when I was in school, I was doing almost 10 to 15 courses per semester. I don't know if you relate with that. Now, for the schools abroad, the highest you do per semester most times is 5 or 6.
That's it.
And they still have good libraries to do that. So we need to move away from making it by force, by fire. We must do it to convincing them. Look, we are dealing with the Gen Z.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I agree with you. Let me just add. I agree with what you're saying, because then I still ask, what has further maths to do with somebody who's going to study medicine? Yes. What has what's this other? I forgot it. Technical drawing. Because then you either pick technical drawing as a science student, or you pick further maths. So I do not understand where they come in line. So yes, they need to reduce the number
and overhauling. My son is in basic 6 and basic 3. They do 18 subjects.
Wow.
I mean, the school resumes by 8 and close by 3. They said because normally all schools close by 2. They said that they want to show that they can teach very well. When I became the PTA chairman, I told them no. Close by and let my kids come home. You don't have to box every time. Look, we need to make school interesting.
Yeah.
We need to make interesting.
Not like a time.
I'm serious. You make a money and you wish today was
Monday.
You wish it should be. But we need to make schooling where pupils are happy to go to school. Students are happy to say, look, and I need to go to school. And we can walk in then. Have reasons to go into staff room or what do you call it? Is it staff
Yeah,
room there?
because it's staff room.
Oh, you are saying you are going to face the Almighty God for judgment.
You know you're facing one judgment, another person.
As you are walking
I'm
through,
ahead. So that's what
exactly.
you did.
Exactly. So I think we need to change that narrative and make school interesting. What the man is, as I said, what the man is trying to do
Yeah.
is to get people into his class.
Yes.
Yes, we can tell him to adjust the method, adjust the because we don't also now trying to do good. You don't sow the wrong stuff that money is everything. So we need to readjust his doing, but it's good. I applaud him for that intention.
Yes, very true.
It's very, very important. Like he said, the education, like we were talking about, educational system.
Okay.
We need creative educational system.
All right.
Because our educational responsibility. There's one thing I've been challenging in our educational system, which is this examination form. He said they are studying, they are having 18 subjects, and they have to write examination for 18 subjects. What more time do we read practicals? That's why in Africa we are so intelligent, but we are not practical. We can't create things. If we put a Caucasian and an African in the class to write an examination, the African child will do better. But in real life, the Caucasian better. Because we put so much emphasis on just write and put it down.
Theoretical stuffs.
So we have much emphasis on this assignment, on these theories, and in fact, there was a school I was for that time. I almost changed the whole examination to 40%. Put the rest of the 60% of theories and other things.
Nigerian examination. Nigerian examination is 100%.
Graduated there with so much 2-1 and first class.
And you can do practically nothing.
Take for example, the way JAMB is jamming people. Like I always say, and people always say, then even in school, our biology teacher, this teacher will tell you that that examination is not the true test of knowledge.
It's not.
Some person might not be able to write down when he tells them create, work it out.
Apply what you've learned.
Apply. If people talk about it, they can actually talk about it. Some person can talk about it, teach about it, and somebody who knows how to grasp and put into practical can do the same. Everybody is different. Some people can talk it, some people can do it, and some people can write it. So I think it's quite even taxing, and you should even give the person kudos when somebody can say it, write it, and do it. It's a whole lot of things.
We've seen cases, I've seen several cases of students who had top class in Nigeria moved out to do their master's program and came out with distinction.
Yes.
A
lot of them.
They beat their contemporary hands down. A lot
of them.
Because we can keep talking about this, but I don't know who the man is. Yeah. I give you kudos. You can readjust the methods, you can readjust, but kudos for that intention.
That's good. Thank you very much. Okay, just to wrap up that one so that we can have one last video and just wrap up. It's just a training video that interests me, so I said we're going to play. But before that, and this one is for Mr. Babatunde, my teacher. He did something outrageously wrong to us. Just the way you mentioned that, teacher. I'm not sorry for mentioning your name because I know right now he laughed about it and played about it. Like, do you remember those times? He gives us assignments. You know how the maths textbook works. The first few, the exercises, the examples are easy.
Yeah.
Then in the exercises, you have like maybe 1 to number 3, very easy. From 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is different. When you are getting to 20.5, forget it. In fact, you might not be able to solve it. But you see what he does? He gives you exercise 1A, exercise 2A, exercise 2B, something like that. Then and under A, you have like 1 to 30. The other one 1 to 30. The other one. So you're having like 90 questions in math to understand. He will now tell you most important ones are the ones from 10 to 25. 10 to 25. Those ones have like 2 marks each. Then he will tell you then we use higher education. I don't know if they still have it now. You higher education and you write. You must answer because lectures are usually first thing in the morning from 8 o'clock. You have it till like double period. That's for 2 hours about. So he tells you must be in my office by 7 a.m. and to drop that assignment that he's giving to you. in the morning. And then it was in Ogun State. Everywhere is usually foggy in the morning. When you wake up, you can't see clearly. That is the time we get to class.
And you meet him there.
So before, you will see him there. You will submit the last person that comes 1 minute after 05, 7:05. 1 minute, you're in trouble. So I'm just saying, congratulations, sir. I hope you are not doing that right now. Anyways, let's go for this one. Let's go for this one. This video is just to laugh off and end the program. But let's go for where this guy denied the fact whereby he does not want to be a policeman. He was being having a chat with the police officer, and at a point, I think the man asked him, "Do you want to be a police officer? Do you want to do my job?" And he denied it. So let's quickly watch that video just to wrap up the show, and we'll be right back.
Traffic.
Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you so much, my viewers, for joining. Tomorrow is going to be Friday edition. Thank God it's Friday because, of course, we like that day because it's close to the weekend. My name is Rose Blast, and I come your way again tomorrow. Do have a beautiful day for yourself. Bye for now.